So in this video, I'm going to explain how you can win at 2025. And I'm going to do this live with you because this is the exact process I just did in my own business over the last couple of weeks working with Paolo to really think about what exactly we did in 2024, what exactly worked, and what are we going to go in 2025. And like just a caveat, we had an amazing 2024. We launched multiple offers. We had really big success on LinkedIn, both on our own accounts and on our client accounts. And we were really able to nail down exactly what we do in our business that gets results for our clients. And we were able to roll that out as a agency offer. We have that as a coaching and consulting offer, which you can get below. We have it as a mini course. Like, we've completely nailed exactly what the inputs are. And so in this video, I want to go over what was the process that we've done in the last couple of weeks to really think about what's happened, what we're going to do, what we're not going to do, all those sort of things. So the very first thing we did, and I suggest you do when you're thinking about your business, is I want you to think about time and profit. And so we're always making a trade in our businesses between time and profit. And so the very first thing I've done is I've gone through every hire, every client, every marketing and sales activity, and I've estimated or calculated what profit it's brought in today or to this moment in time of the last year versus the time I've put into it. Now, I do profit over time because profit bakes into my revenue and my costs. So it's not just about like how much I'm selling. And time is like a function of energy as well. Like, how much energy am I putting into this activity? Am I working with like putting lots of time and energy into like low profit activities? I need to work out when those are and how they're happening. What I've noticed is that we all, watching this video, I'm sure that I kind of already know what's going on, but the process of doing it methodically allows you to gain clarity, which then allows you to make better decisions. So I'm going to go through that very quickly. So the very first thing, and I'll just undo this, is hires. The first thing I did is I went through my whole team and I thought about what have they brought in for my business. And I don't mean this as a sense of like, have they brought in money? I mean, what have they brought in beyond money? What have they brought in culture? Have they brought in training? Have they brought in profit? They may have, like, and then minus their costs. I mean, their costs of, whatever I'm paying them, but also their cost to my business and the costs of integrating them. And this is like really hard. Like, trying to put a tangible value on a person in your business is kind of hard if they're not a sales role or a marketing role, because those are like clearly have some numbers associated with them. But to be completely frank, in my opinion, the gut feels and the intuition you have, it's usually right when it comes to this. And then when you think about how much time you spend training them, helping them, etc., and just like literally rank all your hires. Like, this is not a public document, and I know people will be like, oh, you're like ranking people. Like, look, this is business. Like, rank them all, and just think like who's done more for you and the business and for the company, and who's done a little bit less, and like why. Like, did we spend less time training them? Did we just like, is it our fault? Is it their fault? Is it like, is it a cultural fit? Like, what's going on? Just rank them all. So you have a very clear leaderboard, and I don't mind it being 10, 20, 30% wrong, as long as you have something on paper. So that's the very first thing you should do. You then kind of need to do the same thing for clients. So I want you to look at the cost to fulfill every client and the revenue so you can work out the profit. And this is easy. Like, this isn't a hard thing to do. And then identify how much time you spend on the accounts and then run profit over time. And that's like, efficiency per client. And I just 100% bet your best clients have the highest profit per time. And typically it's not even like a normal, a well-distributed, like it's like the bottom, like only like 30% of your clients like don't take any time, give you loads of profit, and the rest are like just horrendous. Or they just don't really support the thing that you're doing in your business well, and they are very consuming. And we've done this exercise every single year. So we've always got that group of clients that like really are good for us have been getting bigger and bigger because we're getting better and better at saying no to people and saying yes to people. But that profit over time is like an amazing efficiency matrix. Like, who is like doing well here? And I bet your best clients have a high profit per time. I just know it. And then finally, I want you to do the same thing for marketing and sales. So it's like, I want you to rank every channel. Be careful. When I say rank every channel, you're ranking them on like how much they made for you, but just be a little bit careful on channels with dark effects. Dark effects are like, you can't see their attribution, but it's helping. And like, for example, if you run Facebook ads and Google ads, like Facebook ads generates all this like awareness for what you're doing. And then Google Ads is like for your brand name. You'll see that Google Ads has like a really high like return on ad spend, and Facebook ads will have like a lower one. You'll be like, like I should just do all Google Ads. But the whole point was that Facebook was like feeding all the traffic and all the awareness for Google Ads. And so if you like overcompensated on one, you'd kill the other one. So like my point is like channels have more than just a numerical number, the same way clients have more than a numerical number. And so it's hires, like we got to rank them, but like this is, you have to understand that it's going to be wrong. There's like no numerical way to rank it perfectly. And then I also want you to think about which channels have compounding potential. So when you're ranking them, like you might have an order like, okay, look, anything organic didn't get me any results because you just started it. Then you might have to push it back up because it's got a compounding potential. Like this will print money in the future. And then be like, which ones bought your highest value clients? Like you'll notice, for example, that some channels, typically LinkedIn, produces your highest value clients. And even maybe it didn't produce the most number of calls some month, it still produced the highest value clients, and therefore it should be right at the top because it's the place where you get, the best types of clients coming in. It's where you get the best indoctrination to your brand, etc. Like it's just the best place to be. So do this ranking, like rank your hires, your clients, your marketing, and your sales channels, and you begin to get a really good idea of what's worked in the business. And then step 2, I just want you to remove. Like, just remove. So we're more likely to make more mistakes adding stuff to the business than removing. I generally find it rare, and it does happen. It's rare that someone removes the wrong part of the business and doesn't correct it really quickly. So people hardly ever fire the wrong person. It's quite hard to fire the wrong person. It's easy to screw the right person over, but it's hard to fire the wrong person. They're doing well for the business. It's generally hard to stop the wrong marketing channel on purpose. And if you did, you would see it quite quickly and you'd fix it. People don't normally complain about those. They normally complain about like they should have fired someone earlier or stayed more consistent. So like removing is actually the easier thing to do because there's less chances of it going wrong. But for some reason, people just don't remove. Like maybe it's like, sunk cost fallacy, or maybe it's just the fear of removal. But the very first thing, you need to remove something. There are things that you 100% should remove from the business, and we remove all the time. So hires, let's go each one by one again. So hires, remove. Who came at the bottom of your ranking? That's, again, maybe your ranking's like you have 5 people in your team, and like you're not going to remove your 5th person because they're at the bottom, because they still might be awesome. But who have you been meaning to let go but just didn't have the guts to? Like, I do believe that happens. Like, make some tough decisions, or at least plan to make the tough decisions, and maybe try to find ways to not have to make them by creating proper plans in place to give them a chance to be better or give them better training. But like, make a decision here. Like, if X doesn't improve in time, we're going to do this, or this is just not working and I just have been avoiding this scenario. So do that decision and remove something if it works in your business. Clients, this is an interesting one. Which clients have a low profit per time? Think about this for a minute. And which clients do you like instinctively just want to drop and are just not worth your profit? And then how many high value clients does it take to replace them? And if it only takes like 1 or 3 high value clients to replace all your bad ones, I genuinely suggest you just drop the bad ones and spend that time finding better clients. Like, yes, your profit drops, but you unlock, like, let's say 50% of your time is spent on your worst clients, and they take up 80%. So 50% of your time is spent on your worst clients, and that makes like 20% of your profit. Like, it's clearly imbalanced. Just drop that profit, lose 20% of your profit, and you've unlocked 50% of your time, which you can then go to find actually really good clients for yourself or really good clients for your business. And typically, like, anyway, if you're like a consultant or a coach, I bet you have this problem. I bet you're like working on the wrong clients. You just deserve better clients. And there are people in your industry that have better clients, and you're just like, how do I get better clients? And again, typically, if you're in B2B, it's typically going to be LinkedIn. It's typically going to be like, it's like going to be some form of like high trust B2B channel, which is literally LinkedIn, YouTube, or newsletter, generally speaking. So just think about that briefly and make a hard decision, because if the trade is as clear as, okay, I'll only lose a little bit of profit, but I win back all this time, just make the trade. Like, the trade's so worth making. And every time we've made this trade in our business, we've not regretted it. Like it's hard to regret going wrong because your brain will not allow you, or you won't allow yourself to do something stupid to remove. Like you'll remove, it'll be hard, but it's not stupid. Is the grand scheme of things. Marketing and sales. Which channels have brought no return, have little promise of future return, and you're likely to be inconsistent if you've tried to just drop it. Like people that are, if you're like, if all these three things are true, it's probably not worth doing, and that's okay. Just accept it. And if for whatever reason you did not remove anything, or you think like nothing, I don't need to remove anything. Like there's three reasons. You're a top 5% company. Like you're really good because like whatever, you're good, awesome. I am very happy you're good, and that's awesome that you're watching this, and I love that. You did the removals already, like even better, you did this exercise already, and you're probably watching this just to like check that I've done it the right way, or maybe I've missed some gaps. I'd say like this is like 5% of viewers in the sense that everything is perfect. 1 to 5%. I think maybe 10% of viewers did the removals already. Actually, no, probably more. I don't give you guys credit. Like 10 to 20%. I think the majority of people that don't remove something just don't do the exercise properly. And if you do it properly, something will get removed. Or you've done some removals already, like something. Actually, I think this is probably like much higher, probably like 50%. People do quite well. But like, you know the honest answer. If you felt like I've just called out a lie, just do it again. And if not, all good. So at this point, you've analyzed your time and profit. You've removed stuff. I now want you to just double down. Like 2 to 3x your input on anything that is clearly working. And I don't want you to overthink it. And I don't want you to overinvest. And this is why I find that we spend so much time trying to work out what works. Like trying to find the thing that works. And we spend all this energy and time doing it. And we forget that the whole objective of trying to find what works is when something works, to overinvest, to make all the time and money back you've spent on testing. So what I mean by that is like, say you have 100 ads that you just launch, 100 things you do. Only like 5 will be like the clear winners. And the mistake is to be like, oh, I found the 5 clear winners, let me keep testing. Like, no, you found the 5 winners. I want you to like go like 5x on it, like 10x, like go ham on those 5 winners, because it needs to make up for the fact that you had 95 wrong things that you did. So the mistake I see is that people firstly just don't double down. They forget that they actually need to double down. Or if they do, they forget they need to double down. They're still in this mindset of like, their brain's just been testing and trying for so long, they just forget to do it. Or 2 is they underinvest. Like they're scared that this is not the thing and they want to do it slowly. And because they underinvest, they don't take ample opportunity of the moment. And over time, this moment disappears because people see that it's kind of working for you or something's happening. And then the arbitrage which you've discovered just disappears. And or like the algorithm changes, or like the ads change, or like something happens in the market. And so when something is working, you've uncovered what I would describe as a rare moment. And when you found a rare moment, you need to like go ham on this. You need to like go really hard on this rare moment and make best use of it, because it needs to pay back for all the testing that you did. So if, for example, you found, and I want to be specific on LinkedIn, you found that LinkedIn gets you leads and you're not doubling or tripling down, you are like wasting all that testing budget. Like you should be like wholly in it. If you found that it's newsletters, like go wholly in. I don't care what it is. I think it says, I'll just say triple down. Like, you know, it's like quadruple. I don't know what it is. Like, you know, just go quadruple. I don't know, whatever it is. Like invest more, down, whatever. Just go more. Because you need to make it worth the while. And like, I just see this mistake made too often. And even I'm like, I make this mistake. Like we have something working and I'm like, I just don't abuse it as much. And then someone else like just goes ham on it. And I'm like, damn, man, I should have just gone harder. And now they've like ripped it open wide clean. So if you think something's working, overinvest. And when you overinvest, is an interesting thing. You learn quicker if it's not working or working. So like things change as you scale. Like if you do like things 10x more volume, the laws kind of change. So for example, with ads, the easiest one to think about. when you have low ad spend, your CAC is low. And when you go higher ad spend, you like saturate an audience and your CAC increases. Like you quickly work out what's the limit of the scale, and then you can stop doing it when you find the limit. If you don't push it hard enough, you never see the limit, and the limit could be huge. Like you could have like unlocked the most biggest potential, but you just don't know it because you're like way below the ceiling. Now after you've removed and you double down, only then do you add. Only after removing, doubling down, and if you have the capacity, you can consider adding. And there's typically two ways you add. You add with hires or you add with marketing and sales. And typically when you have a hire, you're doing it to like save time or be more efficient or like remove yourself. It's like an efficiency play in some senses. And it can make you more money, but it stems from an efficiency play. Or it should do at least, because you have something that's working and you're bringing people in, or you're adding marketing and sales to create opportunity. It's like either saving time or creating opportunity. Like either or is like really important to do. And I would endeavor you to just try to remove and double down first before you add, because typically adding is where the mistakes are made, and that's like the testing phases again. That's where the money's lost. But again, once you've done those two things and you have the capacity, you have all this gap, and you should have a gap, because if you've removed enough and you've doubled down on the right things, you will always have a gap. Like there'll always be a gap created. You need to add something on now. So add the hiring, add the marketing sales, add the channel, like whatever it is, just add something that you have high, a good confidence that it's going to work. So if you want to win 2025, do a time and profit analysis, remove stuff, double down and add. It's what we did. And for those reasons, we are making changes. We started doing this in like November, actually, because we were thinking about this a bit earlier. And then I did this exercise in December and just like clarified, like, yeah, this is the right things we did in November. And so you can do these things now, execute on the business. And if for whatever reason, in any of these, if doubling down or adding is linked in any form, book in a call with me. I want to work one-on-one with you to like double down and add those channels to your business. If it's not, that's completely okay. Thanks so much for watching this. And I hope it was valuable for you.